In previous episodes, you've been watching us convert this MAN TGE. Since then, we've installed our slide-out countertop, we've installed our bedside reading lamps, our plug sockets, and our aluminium bed frame. We're currently fitting our electrics, Stu's doing some of the plumbing, and we're fitting our heating ducting running from our trimmer unit in through the bathroom, under the bathroom to the front of the van. Next up, we'll be installing a splashback in here, so we can then fit our overhead gantry unit into here, which will then tie up this area quite nicely. Then it's on to building our control panel unit into here, so we can get rid of all these straggly wires and get some electrics working in the vehicle. Our furniture boards arrived for this T6, so it's been all across the CNC machine. We've had it all cut out into its individual components, and it's ready to get trimmed up and ready to build. Our LEDs are about to get fitted into the top of these gantries, and then hopefully this is going to get fitted today. We use this aluminium extrusion to build our bed frames. It's really strong. This is a 60 by 30. It's got an 8mm T-slot. It fits these little T-nuts, which you can just pop into the tracks along the side. And when you fit your bolt, they spin around and clamp in. It enables you to bolt it all together using these little angle brackets, but also you can fit all sorts of stuff to them. We use them for bolting down our bed boards. But these are super strong, they won't flex, so it gives you a really good solid base for your bed. We attach them onto the side of the van with some special brackets that we actually have fabricated for these vehicles. So Sam's just fitting some of these spacer blocks in. What they're going to do is when we fit it into the van, we'll drill up behind the hinges so that you can't see any of the fixings once the door's fitted with the hinges. So we'll drill a hole up through these spacer blocks and into our ceiling. Then we'll put a solid screw fixing in, so that it will give us like 2, 4, 6, 8. It'll give us 9 fixings across the top of the unit to help strengthen it in. It also gets brackets in from the back, which will then get bolted through. These blocks here are just to stop the front piece from compressing and distorting when we pull it in case we pull the screw in too much, so it doesn't compress. It can only go so far. And then what's next, Stu? Is it LEDs underneath?
Yeah. So when Sam's done with that, I'll just roll that over, and then I need to put the touch dimmer switch into the track, and then stick some of our LED light strip in there, and then yeah, we're just about ready.
Excellent. And then is it first test fit?
Yeah, then we just need to hold it up in position, get the position for the brackets on the wall, stick some riv nuts in there, bolt the brackets on, and then we can lift this up into place, drill the holes, and then the fixings for the bottom will be done. Yeah. It's
always really handy to have extra hands on deck, just to get it in and out the van without any damage. But yeah, this will make a big difference to the final finish of the van.
You got the white knuckles holding on the tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for a collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey.
So we're doing a first test fit. We've got it in position. We've levelled it off the countertop. We've got some props in just to take the weight off while we're holding it in place. Put some tape marks so that we know where it needs to go in next time. And you're now marking up positions for the brackets that are going to hold it against the side of the unit, so that when we take it out, we can fit our metal brackets in, rivet them into place, and next time when we put it up, will just be a case of putting it through and bolting it on. I've got this end.
Well, there ain't much time left to figure things out. Deep underneath all the laser, your doubts, there's a heart gone out of rhythm in despair. Hell underwater, fine for air. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come.
So Stu's just drilled the holes in through the side panels to fit our mounting brackets for the overhead gantry. Sometimes you can buy fancy tools to do a job, and other times a simple bit of wood will suffice. One of the problems we've had in the past occasionally is when you've got a double skin in the van. You've got the interior skin and then you've got the outer metal skin. When you're using larger drill bits, you'll drill through the inner skin, and sometimes it can catch the drill bit and pull it in, and before you can stop it, you've touched the outer skin of the van. You go to the outside and you can see there'll be like a little dent pushed out the way from your drill bit, quite often a little chip off the paint, and then that's a repair job that you need to do. You just get a simple off-cut of wood, you stick it down behind the panel that you're drilling into, and it means that the drill can't pull into the second skin. It means you don't need to use depth stops or anything like that, and it just takes 2 seconds, but it can save you an absolute fortune. When it comes to blocking out the light for the cab, there's a few options you can have. There's about 3 or 4 kind of common options. One is you can have an exterior cab blind that would wrap around the door here, then you close the door, wrap it around all 3 windows and do the same on the other door. They've got their benefits. They're pretty small. They fit into like a small pack about this size. They can get wet. It doesn't matter if it rains, you just wring them out, stick them back in the bag and stick it in the van somewhere. The negative of it is somebody could always lift it up and look in the van. They don't have any thermal quality. Another option is you can get thermal blinds, which are the big kind of silver ones that you see, the silver foil ones, and they go in the internal of the window, but it depends how cold a holiday you're going on as to whether they'd be good for you. A third option is to have a cab blind. The problem with cab blinds is they fit across here behind the seats, and then it means that you're blocking off a huge area of the van in what's already a small space. So if you shut off the seats here, it means you can't really have the swivel single seats unless it's just for night time, but it means you've got a set of curtains hanging here. It's not something we've ever fitted, but some people do like them. The benefit to them is if you're parked up somewhere, you can close the cab curtains, and it means that if people looking in the side windows of their van can't see into the habitation side, so it gives you a bit of privacy during the day, which is good. The fourth option is one that we fit is standard in our builds. These are called Remis Concertina blinds. It's a plastic casing that fits into the door. They slide forwards and magnetise on at the front. It gives you a complete blackout. The kind of benefit for them is because they're integrated into the door, that you're never going to forget them, and they don't take up any additional room. The downfall, I'd say, is they're relatively thin, a little bit flimsy. It's something I would say, if it's your van, you're going to know how to do them, you're going to take your time and do it properly, then they should last you the time of the van. If it's something where you're going to be letting people borrow your van, or if you're going to be renting your van out, then I wouldn't touch these, because if people don't know how to use them, they always end up broken. We've had loads of vans in the past that were ex-rentals that come in, and these are always broken. They're always missing pieces where people have not known how to put them back in properly. But if it's your van and you're going to take good care of them, I would say these are probably the best in the market. They do come with a heavy price tag though. I think it's about 700 quid for the full set, depending where you're buying them from. The MAN TGE and the Crafter come with a front kit. It basically sits across the bottom of the screen. One of the downfalls of that is it actually takes away a little bit of your windscreen in the bottom, so you will lose a little bit of your visibility there. They've got 2 arms. One of them folds up and clicks into here, the other one on the driver's side, and then it slides up from the bottom and goes into the middle. I mean, once it's there, that's the only space it takes up. You don't have to fill up your cupboards with them afterwards, and they're obviously not going to get wet being internal. And they are a really good bit of kit, and certainly really handy in what's a confined space. So the long gantry is now in its final place, fitted onto our brackets. It's not going to have to come back down, which is great. We've jerry-rigged a little screw gun battery up to show you the lights working, so it's going to give quite a nice glow over the roof. We've also got some LED track lights in our roof here, so it'll be really nicely and well lit, this van. Great big gantry we've built. You've got plenty of room for storage, crockery, food, and above the bed, clothes and whatnot. Any fixings are hidden, which is great, because I never like to look in and see the fixings. It's all Alcantara panelled in at the back, nice and soft. Everything's soft closed. We've just got this end cap to go on here, so this will get fitted into here to hide all the gubbins behind. And then we've got our control panel, which will get built into here. It's already got the cutouts and everything for all our control panels for the different appliances, and that'll get rid of all this wiring. Which will be nice to see that go. That'll really tie this area up. The boys are also just now cutting our tiling board, which is our white metro tiles. They're going to come down to about here, and then we're going to have a small return made out of the solid surface, which will just be a small upstand into there. It'll all be nicely sealed in. Built some structure in at the back of here, because we're going to have some plug units and some light switches, and the last thing you want is to be pressing in a plug and for the whole panel to flex. So that gives a bit of rigidity at the back, then the panel will get bonded onto there. Once that bit's clear, we can then fit our tap and our induction hob and our cupboard doors, and this should look fairly finished by tomorrow, which is really good. In this unit here, we've left one of the cables from this above light here ready, so that when we fit the lights onto the top of the shower block around here, we can just solder that in and then feed it back through, and it should be one fairly continuous line running all the way around. Open this up, we're going to have our Maxview Roam 5G unit, which is going to get fitted onto the ceiling in here, and all these cables will be plugged into here and then fed back through. This will allow the rabbit ears to hang vertical, which is apparently how you get the best reception. And that will give some really good coverage. It's difficult to decide whether you go for Starlink or 5G in one of these vans. Starlink's really good. You do get really good reception if you've got a clear view of the skies, but if you're parked in the woods, you've got overhead trees, or if you're parked in the city and you've got big buildings in, you're not going to get any coverage at all, in which case the 5G Wi-Fi is definitely the answer. If you're going to work from your vehicle, or if you're someone that needs to be contactable all the time, we quite often build vans where we'll fit both, just so that your belt and braces and you can always be reached. Yeah, that should be going on tomorrow. Now that these areas are coming together, we're going to start focusing on the bathroom, and we're going to be fitting the basin. We're going to be sealing up all the bathroom, fitting the internal ceiling. We've got our max dome extraction fan going into the roof, into the internal ceiling. Then we've got a kind of quarter panel that goes in with an LED light. We've got LED lights above the basin, and then our shower tray and toilet will get bonded in as well. Then we've got the exterior trim going onto this with our sliding door. So yeah, this will be the kind of final part of the van that will get built. So this is a piece of the furniture board we just had back from the CNC. It's going into that T6. I'm just applying some edge banding onto it. It's a hot melt glue edge banding that we use. So we use our little kind of manual edge bander for the small pieces like this. You can use the big industrial machines. We have them next door, but they don't do curved pieces like this. They only do large sections, and they only do, I think it has to be bigger than about 350mm in length, so small sections like this wouldn't work in it anyway. So we do these by hand. The machine heats up a little pot of glue, melts it down, and then it's got like a corkscrew that spins all the time, lifting the glue up to the top, and puts it onto a roller. And then when you feed the wood through, you feed the edging tape through as well. It gets rolled past the roller, picks up the hot glue, and then you press your wood onto it as it comes out. As it dries straight onto your piece. It's a really good edge that it gives you. It requires a bit of clean-up. You can see some overspilt glue on there, but we've got chemicals that just take that straight off. But it gives it almost a kind of waterproofness as well. Unlike knock-on trim, where water can creep around about the edges, you don't really get that with ABS edge banding, because it's all glued on. There's a lot less opportunity for the water to infiltrate it. It's just a nicer finish as well. Occasionally we do have to use knock-on trims, but it's usually on internal cutouts. So if we have a hole cut out something, it's very difficult to do the hot melt glue edge. So we then use the knock-on trim. But yeah, we prefer this. Yeah, we're trying to get the furniture board edged up for this. We're just starting it just now, and we're going to get the unit built because we're still waiting on the bed and the floor rails arriving. To avoid any sort of additional extra time, we're going to try and have everything ready so that when they arrive, that can go in, and it'll just be a matter of 2 or 3 days of fixing the furniture in, and then fitting all the appliances and testing everything before it can go back to the customer. So with the work on this MAN TGE coming to a close, we've only got maybe another week, possibly 2, of final touches going into this van before it's done, can go off to the customer. With this van coming out, we've got another one coming in. This MAN TGE is one that we've started before. It's been sat waiting while we're waiting for parts to arrive. We've got an internal ceiling coming from a company called Surf Deck. It's the same kind of decking that they put on speedboats and yachts. They've custom built an internal ceiling for us. We've been waiting a while for that, so it's kind of held us off from installing the final fix for our furniture. But once that's in next week, we can then start work on this. Maybe in the next week, possibly 2. We've also got a very exciting project we've been working on. We've got our new roof rack which is arriving. We've had that custom designed and it's getting fabricated as we speak, and hopefully that's going to be here within a week. We can start working on getting that fitted to the van. We've got a full exterior styling pack going on this, which we call our storm pack. It's going to be a front winch, we've got a roof rack, LED light bars, we've got storage boxes on the roof, solar panel, we've got max tracks, the full works going on this. So stay tuned, watch this one. It's going to be a really exciting project. Thanks for watching everything so far, and if you like what you see, then don't forget to like and subscribe.